Says the Gemara. We're going to go back to what we started off the whole shir with. We're going to learn now from Tzitzis. Tzitzis, you can put in your Tzitzis Techeiles, which is wool, even though the beged is linen. So you see the idea of Techeiles. But what's the problem? You told me, but there's no extra word. You need an extra word in Tzitzis in order to learn the smuchim that shatnez and Tzitzis are together, as you recall. We need an extra word. What's the extra word? We just worked hard. What's the extra word? Is it roish? Is it skanai? I'll tell you what the extra word is. The word gedilim is extra. Let's try that first. That's the extra word. And I learned the whole thing. Says the Gemara, it's not true, it's not extra. Says to teach me how many strings go in your tzitzis. Gedil shnayim. What does gedil mean? It means to weave it together. You can't twine it together if you don't have two. You can't take one string and how are you going to do it? Twining means you take two strings and go together, right? Like this. You take this and go together with this. So you need two. That's gedil. But the Torah says gedilim. So 2 times 2. Gedilim is plural. 2 times 2. How many strings do we have now? 4. What do you do with the 4 strings? Arba. Gdil shnayim gdilim arba. I say gdil upaisleum mitoichai. Take the 4 strings, put them into the hole of the tzitzis, and now you have 8. So first of all, 2 things. You ever wonder how come there's a lot of knots on top of your tzitzis, and then you have a lot of strings hanging out? What's going on here? That's here right now. There's 2 things going on here. There's gdil, that means make all your knots, but there's also pasleu. You got to make sure that there's some strings that are dangling. You can't just make knots through and through. Now let's see Rashi inside for a second. Rashi says, Gedilim arba chutim demiyut gedilim shnayim. Try to see if you see in Rashi a question. What's Rashi trying to avoid here? Gedilim arba chutim demiyut gedilim shnayim uchsiv v'nosnu al tzitzis akanav psil. The Torah says, Asay mahanach arba chutim gedil echad. Take these 4 strings, make 1. The havlu shmoy chutim v'shetoich v'miknaf ha'beged. What's Rashi trying to avoid? Rashi is trying to avoid Tosfos' question. Tosfos asks, maybe the Torah is telling us, take 4 strings, take each individual string and make a knot on the corner of the beged. Take another string, another knot. How do you know you do it all together? L'chayr, that's what Rashi is trying to avoid. And Rashi says, because it says a kind of psil. You're supposed to make 1 knot out of all the strings. Okay. Next. Imkein. Again, we said maybe the extra word is gdilim. It's not extra. It comes to teach us how many strings you need. Now I have a new extra word. Yachdav is the extra word. And again, let's just review, because why not? If we have extra word, that will allow us to take the 2 psukim. How you doing, Shloimi? Take the 2 psukim of shatnez and tzitzis and put them together and say, I could make tzitzis out of shatnez, which means which means that should apply also by yibum. You should be able to be miyabim your own daughter. Kamash malon aleha, that you cannot do it. As the Gemara, that word yachdav is not extra. That if I take, how do I make shatnez, Rabbi Isai? I need 2 tchifos. Let's see if I can find it here somewhere. Here we go. When I'm sewing shatnez together, I need 2 in and out. You see, like this picture. I don't know if you can see. In is 1. Out and in is the second one. That's how I'm over midoraisa. That's why my suit that had threads in it, touching threads, is the Rabban, not the Reis. That's not considered connecting, unless there's a knot or something. Okay, let's try again. Imkain. What's the extra word? If I want to tell you, do not put 2 products together, semer and pishtim. So that's the way to say it. Like till about semer u pishtim yachtav. Don't put those two together. Shatnez lamali. What's this word shatnez? Shmamino. It's extra. La'afnuye. It's extra. And therefore, if it's extra, then the smuchim go together, and I learned this. I would say the same thing by Yibum, but I can't do it by Yibum. That's why I have a leah. That's the Gemara, but it's not extra. The word shatnez is a Rosh Tevis. Shua tavi v'nois. It has to be smooth. It should be spun and then woven together. Those three things. Rashi is of the opinion that you need those three things in order to be over shatnez deraisa. You can't take a ready-made semer string and a ready-made pishton string and put them together and be over shatnez according to Rashi. You have to make it from the factory in one. According to other Rishonim, they argue with him. But upon him, the word shatnez is not extra. Says the Gemara, elakulu kula min shatnez nafka. What does that mean? It means if the Torah indeed wanted to tell me this idea, that you have to do shua, tavi v'nois, klayim. So the Torah would have said the word klayim. Klayim means together. Then I don't need the word shatnez. The reason the Torah used the funny word shatnez, that gives us one extra limud. So I'm learning from the word shatnez two things: shua, tavi, v'nois, and the idea of it should have said. So again, the Torah should have said shua, tavi, v'nois. Why did the Torah say it like interesting shatnez? And if I wanted to tell you chiddush. Klayim, so what's this shatnez? Use the word klayim. The fact that the Torah didn't say klayim, didn't say shua tavi nice. Use the funny word. Shatnez teaches us two things. And I have an extra word. And that's what the Gemara is going to state now. That the extra word by Tzitzis that I learned that you could combine semer and pishtim together. Hold on, where's my phone? 1 second. I got it, hold on. This is too much for me. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. You're going to take a panoramic. Selfie? Yeah. Unbelievable. Shkoya. No, Bittul Torah, what are you guys doing? We're in the middle of the shir here. Says Gemara, great. Okay, Tzitzis, what's the big deal? He took a little wool, he put a little tzemer, he's not over, he's not going to get cars for it. Loisas is sheyesh bekaras like Yibum. We want to compare Tzitzis to Yibum, that you should have relations with your wife's sister. It doesn't go. Why would I think such a thing? I need a special word, oleh, to say that it's awesome.